Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited to see the people are calling from so many places, Germany, South Korea, Hawaii, Big Island, the US, from Utah. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Maria Mora, and I work with our international students from Europe and Latin America, pretty much everywhere around the world except Asia. And I'm happy to be here and tell you a little bit more about our school. So before we start, I'll have my admissions team introduce themselves as well. So Janet, do you want to start?
Yes, good morning. Aloha, everyone. My name is Janet Kalani-Opio. I'm the Senior Associate Director of Admission here at HPA. I work with domestic and international boarding students, so I see a lot of familiar names here today, so welcome. I've been in HPA, oh gosh, going on 15 years now. All three of my kids also graduated from HPA, and excited to have you all join us today. Taylor?
Yeah, thank you, Janet. Good morning or good evening. I'm Taylor Wang. I'm the Assistant Director of Admission here at HPA. I'm also an HPA alumni, class of 2010. I also have a current third grader at HPA. I work with upper school day students and in-state boarding. So thank you for all of the families being here today. It's going to be a really exciting event. Lots of good information. And then I'll hand it over to Laura.
Aloha, everyone. Just quick welcome. My name is Laura Jim, and I am lead on our Marine Studies program. I've been at HPA working for, oh, I don't know, maybe 25 years or so. Both my kids went through HPA, and I'm also an alum. And I think Dr. Bill's next.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Wicking. I run the energy lab here, and I'm sitting next to Dominic over there. So you might hear an echo here that may be interesting. And I've been at HPA for 25 years. My son went here. He's now a senior at Cal Poly. And my wife's three kids all went through here too. So I have a lot to share about the experience here. And our energy lab is something I'll talk about a little bit later on. I think next is probably Dominic. You want to go? Or Anna, sorry, Anna, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm from Germany and I'm a junior here. And I've been here at HPA since this summer. And yes, I'm excited to be here.
Hey, I'm Dominic. I'm a junior here at HPA, and this is also my first year here. Um, I'm from Germany, and I'm super excited to be here today. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. We have, as you can see, wonderful panelists today. So before we start our session, I'm just going to go really quickly through some guidelines. So please don't forget to mute yourself and unless you have a question. And we can try to leave those questions for the end. You can write them on the chat or you can unmute yourself and ask the question, okay? And enjoy your session. We want to hear now from our HPA students and faculty.
Thank you, Maria. So first, we're going to hear from Laura Jim. She is our marine science and scuba educator. She's also the co-director of the Sea Turtle Research Program here. And we're so happy to have her with us this morning. Laura, why don't you please go ahead and share more about your work and your all that you do with students as well.
Sure, absolutely. Our Marine Studies program is actually vast. I run the majority of all of it, so any student that engage with any aspect of these programs, I have the benefit to work with. Today, I'll talk not necessarily in this sequence, but I'll talk about our Sea Turtle Research Program, a signature program at HPA. I'll discuss a little bit about our marine biology courses as well as the potential for independent projects. And then I'll also talk about our scuba certification during co-curriculars, as well as various weekend programs. On the next slide in our mission, the following slides, I already introduced myself. Our mission really spans beyond HPA, so it's really to contribute towards the conservation of marine life, and that includes sea turtles, but also includes corals and various other organisms. And we really engage with education, research, and advocacy. So we work with students, but then also students have the opportunity to work with community members. So we are both a research institution, we're an educational institution, and we're also an outreach program. The Sea Turtle Research Program began in 1987. And every year I keep forgetting how long that is, but upwards of almost 40 years coming on in a couple years. We have kind of four components that I'll share with you. The first is really on island research. The second is international work that we do. Third is independent research projects that are specifically turtle-based, as well as our stranding program and outreach with education that happens. The first is looking at our Hawaii island research. We have about 6 to 7 locations on Hawaii Island. Go ahead, Maria, on the next slide. And those are areas where we conduct annual health assessments. And so we go to these sites, like I mentioned, usually once a year, and we measure, weigh, tag, if they have not been tagged before, sea turtles that are in the nearshore environment. Students are directly interacting with the turtles. We work under NOAA's permitting agreement, and all data that we collect goes into a governmental database, as well as open source. So here, turtle students, in order to participate, do earn their certification. And once they earn their certification during their lifetime at HPA, they can then work with our program. It really is a hands-on opportunity that Dominic and Anna will go ahead and speak about later. And speaking also next about our stranding program. So we run the strandings for all sea turtles primarily from Kona up to Kohala. So this is on our coastline. And Mark Rice, myself, take field calls day and night regarding turtles, often with line ingestion that you can see are on the far right. Students sometimes assist us with this depending on the timing of it. A lot of times they don't, just because these are unpredictable. Yeah. And then our next work is looking at our educational opportunities with the community and outreach. So we participate in many coastal cleanups, and we also often run booths at certain events. For example, on the top left, you'll see a recent event that was sharing a little bit about our work in Japan at our library that was managing migratory species in a community day event. We also, some images below, and you see that students are really a primary part of that as they serve as educators for the community. So it's a great opportunity both for our school, but as well as our students, and then of course the outreach with the community. And then next is really our international research that really ebbs and flows depending on projects that are working worldwide. And so currently we're working with Stanford and a few other groups, Port of Nagoya Public Aquarium, with a stretch project, which is looking at a thermal corridor hypothesis that is believed to develop that allows for a migration of loggerhead sea turtles into the Baja area. So we're on year 4 of this 4-year project where we assist with the placement of satellite tags. In addition, we have just started work in Ghana. So we've placed 2 satellite tags on sea turtles there on olive ridleys. And this is kind of replacing our work that we've done in Vanuatu in the past. So we're constantly looking at new projects in areas where knowledge of sea turtles don't quite exist, and ways that we can engage our students as well in this international work. Yeah. And then lastly, within the Marine Bio and Sea Turtle Research Program, if you go back one, is our international, is independent work. I'll talk about the independent work in just a minute. So nextly is our scuba program, and students are allowed to engage with scuba whatever they come with. So one opportunity is to do co-curriculars. So in the fall term, next one, Maria, sorry about that. So in the fall term, students can engage with marine biology. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at the wrong slides. If you could backtrack, Maria, to one, that would be great. I was looking at my example. And scuba, perfect. So in scuba, students can participate in our co-curriculars that run in the fall term for open water certification. And we have about 12 spots open for that. And then in the spring term, we offer an advanced program. So all students will engage with co-curriculars. Some of them are sports-based, some are theater and arts-based. And then we also offer the scuba program. Perfect. And then nextly is our weekend activities. So students who come to us certified are able to participate or get certified through us they're able to join us for the weekend dives, and they join a scuba club. In addition, we offer weekend snorkels. So our intention really is about getting students out into the water, showing them some of the beauty that exists, and really kind of connecting them to Hawaii Island. And students for the snorkeling generally sign up with that through our outdoor program as well as our weekend activities. And with all of these, both day students and boarders can participate in these. And we primarily encourage all of you so that they can make connections both with day students and boarders. Perfect. And then next is talking about our marine biology and oceanography courses. So I run two separate types of courses in the fall and in the spring term. So the first semester and second semester. And these are, the first one is marine biology, looking at invertebrate zoology with a focus on coral reef ecology. And that's what Anna just finished up, that she'll share a tiny bit about if she has time. And we look at invertebrates, and we conduct about 6-7 field trips, some of which includes fish surveys, coral surveys. Our second semester is vertebrate zoology with a focus on human and ocean interactions. And then also my colleague Tani Cordova runs an oceanography course that students can sign up for, kind of a blend of biological and physical oceanography. So those are the main courses that students can take that are semester-based, that they don't have to do both of. They run independently. And then lastly is our independent student projects. So all students at HPA as seniors conduct independent projects within our capstone cohort. Some students, in addition to those seniors, sometimes juniors, sometimes sophomores, elect to take conduct independent student projects. These are just a couple examples of what we have currently. On the top left, we have Greta that's investigating nudibranchs or sea slugs and connecting their diversity and abundance at specific dive sites with benthic habitat. Bottom right, we have Kingston here looking at microplastics in fish guts. And then we have some older projects looking, for example, at habitat use of green sea turtles in 2 different locations using facial recognition as well as other ecological methodologies. So yeah, those are some examples of student projects. Basically, if students want to do it, we'll figure out a way to do it, and they just have to make themselves known and tell us what they're interested in. And finally, just makahana ka'ike, by doing one learns. And you'll see with our marine studies program, we tend to have a lot of photos because we do a lot and we're outside a lot in the ocean. And without further ado, I'd love to introduce Anna. Anna comes to us, like she mentioned, from Germany, and I've had the benefit of having Anna in marine biology, in our scuba co-curricular. She earned her certification, as well as in the sea turtle research program, and sometimes on weekend snorkels. So yeah, Anna, if you don't mind sharing just a tiny bit of, I don't know, your experiences here at HPA, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, of course. So what I really like at HPA is that in marine biology, and this semester we went to the ocean about like 7 times and did like surveys. And we saw a lot of stuff there, like fishes, sometimes also sea turtles. And it was just like really cool to like get out of the classroom and do something else except just sitting there and learning about it, but doing it like actually in the ocean. And that was like super fun. And also one of my favorite experiences here was during scuba diving. It was our second ocean dive, I think. And I saw like a huge manta ray right next to me. And it was like really cool because I've never seen one before. And it was like a really special experience for me. And in every ocean dive, we saw something else and something special. And it's really like you see new things every day, and it's really fun to do it. And I'm happy because the certification from scuba diving lasts your lifetime, and you like just have to refresh it once in a while if you don't do it for a longer time. And that's really cool that I earned it. So, yeah.
Thank you, Anna, so much. And unfortunately, Anna's just with us for this semester, but she'll forever be part of HPA for sure. And I believe Dr. Bill now is going to share a little bit about his work at the Energy Lab and with students as well.
I wish I could spend as much time in the water as Laura does. She looks like she has so much fun. Aloha for the local folks in Schönabend, for the Germans, and our Utah folk. I think there are 3 things that stick out about what goes on here that might be interesting to a parent. And I'm a dad, so I'm going to tell you from my viewpoint. Place, people, and programs. So the places is unusual. I think you could probably learn scuba diving in a lot of places around the world. You couldn't, and you might learn about turtles in a different place, but you wouldn't be able to do scuba and turtles and all the things that Laura does. And so it's that combination of living on this big island, which those of the local folks know. We have access to everything here: volcanoes, oceanography, astronomy. It's all there's a reason scientists come here to study, and that's you can study just about everything here. So as a scientist myself, I can really understand that. The second thing is people. I've taught at a lot of schools, and HPA is an international boarding school, and the chemistry in a class is unlike anything I've ever seen in any place, even at the university where I've taught. It's that you see people living together and from different cultures contributing their ideas, their concepts, their level of effort and quality, the things they're interested in, and it's a wonderful, wonderful mix. And I think that most students never really see this until they get to university. So it's a great on ramp for that, as I'll mention in a minute. And the other thing is, as Laura mentioned, her collaboration with the sea turtle research folks. That's been going on for a long, long time, and that's something that is really cultivated through the work of her and her father and predecessors, that it's not something that happened just this year. These are ongoing things that have been going on for decades. So we have a reputation in the research community and a credibility that gives kids access to things they normally wouldn't have. So that's another really, really important thing I don't think people really get. It doesn't happen just right away. And access is not just to the physical things that are on this island, but it's access to collaborations. So this building is the first of its kind to meet what's called a Living Building Challenge. It's a completely sustainable building in a lot of different ways. I could go on, but what's more important is what goes on in the building. It's the kids that make this building different and new every single year. And the collaborations we have are amazing. A few years ago, we were the NASA habitat. The people lived on, imagine they were on Mars, living on a volcano way out in the boonies. And we were the connection to NASA. So the kids had actually authentic interactions with NASA folks and with habitants, people living in a dome. We have people that work hand in hand with tsunami researchers. The net result of this is not just access to programs, but it helps them develop curiosity or their interest in something beyond just like, I didn't know I was interested in that, to I've worked with a professional in that field. So when they go to university, they're not intimidated by the level of professors that are there, men and women. So they're used to talking to them on a very even level. So that's another really, really important thing, I believe. The other thing about boarding is that it's a family. I run into a lot of alum and they go to each other's weddings as they get older. This is a family that stays part of their lives forever. And boarding is a tough sort of a situation. You're away from your birth family, but you really have what's more than just friends. These people are your supporters. I've seen situations where two young women were helping each other with a college application and they're competing for the same spot. I know that in other schools that wouldn't happen. There's a real sense that they are in this together. So it's a fantastic observation from my view. I mentioned about the collaborations, the NASA South Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, Berkeley, MIT, Harvard, Caltech. The reason that's important is that we are really an on-ramp to schools that are much, you would think they're out of our range because we're a very small school. But it really is the kids' experiences, just like what Laura mentioned before. These kids leave here as 17, 18-year-olds with experiences that graduate students very often never have. So that's a tremendous asset. And it's a gift that we can give these kids. That's what we do every single day. It's about service, and we're serving these kids and preparing them for a world that we can only imagine. The courses that I teach in particular I taught physics for a long, long time. And my background is in neuroscience. So we do work on brain waves. We do tsunami research, drones, fire sensors, all kinds of different things that really change every single year as technology changes. Just this year, we started an AP course in cybersecurity, one of the few schools in the country that are doing this, because we think it's something that kids probably need to know. A computer engineering course, which again is something that's really, really, it's going to be something that augments AI, and we include AI in the course. So it's something that we've learned how to, we want kids to be not just survive, but thrive in the future. I know people say that, but that's actually what we're all about here. And then the common questions, as I said, I'm a dad. I talk to a lot of prospective parents, and the three questions that come up a lot are, will my son or daughter have access to the facilities here? I think you heard Laura say this is all about access. you saw in the pictures, the underwater pictures, it's not just the seniors that are in there, it's everybody. So that's the first thing, is the access. And the second thing is, what about my students' ability to get into these higher level things? Well, a lot of times we don't even, like, I would say, recruit. It's all word of mouth. A student, like you're going to hear from Dominic in a minute, tells his friends about something, and then the friends get into it, and then it really kind of grows that way. And I think the third thing is that, can you do all of your projects in this building? Well, this building is a wonderful resource, but it's the people in it that make it really, really key. And what we try to do here is the opposite of graduate school, where the professor says, "This is my project, and you're going to work on this for free for a few years." Here, it's the students come to us and they say, "I'm really interested in this." And then what we do is we try to meet their needs with the support and the structures and the equipment and facilities and the connections, the collaborations that we have. So that's really, really important, I think. And then I think finally, I'd like to finish with the idea of teams. People come here from all over the world, Europe, Silicon Valley, all over, and they say, "This is how I run my team and my business." If you go into one of my rooms where groups are in Dominic's class, for example, or the independent science research, you'll hear students arguing and taking a stand. You don't very often hear about that in most schools. They own what's going on here, and they're creating their experience. And I think that's a really, really powerful thing. It's exciting for me. Every day is new. It's not just the technology. It's every day is new with these guys. That they surprise me every single day. And keeping up with them is always a challenge. So that's my spiel. Am I passing on to Dominic? Is that what you want to do next?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. I'm here in the eLab involved in so many different projects. I'm here in the involved in the AP cybersecurity class from Dr. Bull, which is a great opportunity to learn about how hackers work and how to protect ourselves from hackers. We learn how to break into computers and to protect our computers. That's such a unique experience for me because I never learned about that in Germany. I'm also involved in his island science class where we can do so much new things. We had a great talk with an astronomer from the Keck Observatory here where he showed us his work and explained us how his telescopes work, what he's doing there, and what are they searching on right now. What was a which was a great opportunity for me to just learn about more what people do in the real world and to learn about their jobs. Maybe I want to do later too. We also had a great opportunity to meet a Polynesian navigator where he taught us some things about navigating with stars and with waves and currents. That was super unique for me to experience this. And this class is also super nice to just learn real hands-on experience or gain hands-on experience because we work in teams together. We create our own maps of reefs of the island, of different biomes here on our island, because we have so many different kinds of biomes and great nature here that we can learn about. And I think that's a really great opportunity here. Yes, and I'm also involved outside of the classroom here, or outside of the school. Here in the eLab, I work on drone projects with my friends. We can just come up here in the afternoon and fly drones, learn how to fly drones, and then drop sensors right out on the field with fire sensors like Dr. Bell just mentioned. I think that's a super nice opportunity. Thank you.
Students, let's do a quick thing for you guys. If you had one piece of advice to give to incoming students, what would that be? Anna, why don't you go first?
My advice is to be involved in as many things as you can because you have so many great opportunities here that you have nowhere else. And it's really special. And just like get involved like in co-curriculars or sports or as many like classes as you can, and also do classes that you can do at home. For example, I couldn't do marine biology at home, and that's why I also chose it here because it was like really different subjects that you can choose and just be open-minded and enjoy it.
How about you, Dominic?
My advice would be open, try out new things. I think this is a very special place here where you have so many new opportunities. You can't even imagine. So just be open, come to the teachers, ask them if you can do a project, or just be involved in their classes because the classes are so inter interesting and it's great. Yeah, just be involved.
Again, thanks everyone for coming today. We're so happy that you were able to join us and hear more about these incredible programs and opportunities that we have available here for students. We look forward to continuing to work with you all in the admission process. And thanks again for coming. We'll be in touch soon. Mahalo.